VA clinic is now open, providing important primary care and specialty services. If you're a veteran in the Ocala area, thank you for your service. Feel free to get in touch with our team by visiting us online at camac.house.gov. I'm Kat Camac, and it is my honor to serve you.
This ad is paid for by official funds authorized by the U.S. House of Representatives.
Are you tired of living with chronic pain, knee pain, joint pain? Listen carefully, because now there are new treatments available here. Not talking surgery or steroids. These are regenerative treatments from the medical professionals at QC Kinetics, now with offices in Ocala and the Villages. Hey everybody, this is Tom Schmitz. QC Kinetics is the leader in these exciting biological therapies that help restore and repair damaged tissues in your joints with lasting results. If you got pain in your knees, your shoulders, hips, back like I do, joint pain that won't go away, you need to check out these new treatments with astonishing patient satisfaction reports. They can actually help your body restore and repair itself with no downtime, no drugs, and no surgery. That's right, no surgery. Don't go through another year with that awful joint pain, and don't let them put you under the knife. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. There's offices in Ocala and the Villages, so give them a call, 352-400-4550. That's 352-400-4550.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Tuesday. You know, in the post-pandemic world we live in, there's a new normal. In the past 2 years, one of the new normals is the rise of video chat platforms. I mean, 81% of Americans report they use it for work, school, or social reasons, more than half claiming at least weekly usage. But those on the autism spectrum, and that's 1 in 44 of us, having a meaningful connection on video chat can be difficult to say the least, if not even impossible. Nonverbal cues, facial expressions are key to connecting with others, but people on the spectrum have a hard time reading these cues at times, an issue amplified when there's a screen between us. Well, Dr. Michelle Dean, she's going to join us to talk more about the challenges that those on the autism spectrum face when communicating via video chat. And she's also going to talk about how Cox Communication is helping solve that problem. Dr. Dean, good morning to you.
Good morning to you. Thank you for having me.
Dr. Dean, how did you partner with Cox, and why did you partner with Cox on this initiative?
Well, Cox and I share similar passions. So Cox is passionate about creating more moments of human connection, and I'm passionate about making the world more inclusive and accepting of people with all abilities, including those on the autism spectrum. Project Unmade combines both of these passions to help people on the autism spectrum and their loved ones connect over video chat, which in these days most of us do as a part of our daily life. And so we want to help individuals with autism connect with their loved ones in more meaningful ways.
Dr. Dean, I'm sorry, your speakerphone is a little it's very distorted coming over our airwaves. Is there something? I'm sorry, it's very distorted.
Let me see what I can do to help you out.
Well, while we're trying to get you back in that way, why is video chatting challenging for people on the autism spectrum? I mean, they get to see people's faces. They can see. Why is it so challenging for them on the video screen?
So people on the autism spectrum have a difficult time reading facial cues, interpreting the emotions of other people. And when we reduce the bodies, the facial expressions of others into a tiny little box on a screen, that can exacerbate their existing difficulties difficulties with reading nonverbal cues. So for people who have these difficulties, when we've all moved to these video chat platforms, it can be really difficult to understand what another person is feeling or thinking.
When people you talk about autism spectrum people, is Cox creating this video application tool to help is this something Cox creating themselves?
Cox created a prototype that uses artificial intelligence and facial voice recognition technology to bring Convey to life. The hope is for all video chat platforms to build this technology into their services, and Cox is providing their research to anyone who wants it. Cox is also exploring ways to incorporate the tech of Convey into their own products.
Well, how can we as a community or as neighbors or family members, how can we better support those that are on the spectrum, or how can we support those that are parenting a child who's on the spectrum?
Well, first thing I want to do is learn about autism. We know that people with autism have social communication patterns and styles that are different than people without autism. We also know that no two people with autism are alike, and that means the level of support and the needs that they have may be different from person to person. So the best thing I want to do is ask. You can ask the individual with autism. You can ask the parent or the loved one, how can we be more accepting? What can we do to be more helpful? What sort of supports are needed?
And with that in mind, is that a subject that's easily approached by family members, or is it just one that you have to go and say, hey, I want to offer my services or some help here, anything you need? How do you start a conversation like that?
Sure. You can simply say, I want to be accepting and inclusive, and I would like to know how I can support you, or what you can tell me about you as a person with autism, or your son as a person with autism. What is your experience like? What sort of support do you need? And people generally are very open to you asking about their experiences and taking the proactive approach to being inclusive and accepting.
We're talking to Dr. Michelle Dean. Doctor, where can listeners go if they want to get more information about this program that Cox is doing, or how to help with maybe helping with people on the autism spectrum or their parents?
You can go to cox.com/Project Convey to watch videos of how the prototype brought families even closer and learn more about the project.
Doctor, thanks so much for talking about us with this very important subject and for giving us a way to help people on the autism spectrum get through this very trying time of video chatting that seems to be the new normal. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
That was Dr. Michelle Dean. If you could catch most of that, that was the content there was a little shady because her speakerphone didn't seem to be working that well. But she basically said that Cox has created this video tool that allows people on the spectrum to understand a little better when they're talking to people, because they don't pick up on facial cues. They don't, a wink may be missed, or, smiles maybe not thought of as the right way. So there's a lot that happens when you're on the spectrum that causes you difficulty. And this is a way Cox is using a video tool they've created to help people on the spectrum. So kudos to Cox for coming up with that situation that at least attempts to try to help those on the autism scale. And that number scared me. 1 out of 44 people are on the autism scale. That number scares me. I didn't realize it was, for some reason, I thought it was like 1 out of 130 or something. I didn't realize it was 1 out of 44. That's a scary number. And the new normal is video chat. A lot of people are going to video chat. I mean, you think MySpace was popular before FaceTime, I meant. My Face, the chat book, whatever. FaceTime. You think FaceTime was popular before the pandemic? A lot of people use FaceTime. And now, you know, if you have an Android phone, you have the video chats you can do with Android. Tablets. You got Facebook's come out with their own tablet to video chat with people. Google has their own tablet to video chat with people. Telemedicine is a big deal, and with doctors doing a lot of appointments through video chat instead of you coming into the office. So this is the new normal. And there are people with disabilities that we have to figure out how they can also participate in the new normal at the same level those of us without disabilities are able to participate in the new normal. And that's what Cox is trying to do, I believe, with this video tool to try to solve some of the video chatting challenges for people on the autism spectrum. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll have more on the other side. You're listening to Ocala Talks on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
Deadly violence continues in Afghanistan. At least 6 souls are dead after multiple explosions target schools in the capital of Kabul. The police chief said Abdul Rahim Shahid High School was hit with 3 explosions. The other facility attacked was the Mumtaz Educational Center. In May of 2021, a bombing at a girls' school in